Where's he at?
Beating on us in here. I have no idea who he is.
You come out of the house, sir.
I'm here.
I know, you come out.
I got my roommate up here. He came up and slugged me in the head and started beating him. I don't know who he is.
Go out of the house. Go. Behind your car. This is the police department. Come out of the house now.
I don't think he doesn't
I'm
got
unseen. I'm trying to call him out of the house. Sir, I'm going to
Thank you.
ask you to go back by my car again,
I
please.
think he's high.
If I can go to the, if I can get a unit to go on the back side of the house. You said someone else is inside? Your roommate's inside?
We haven't. You can go inside. I have a housemate in there. He's beating on both of us. He slugged me in the jaw.
Police department!
He's stabbing me!
Where are you at? Yep.
Help! Help!
Oh, get out, get out, get out!
Help!
My roommate.
Please.
Get up!
Get him.
Help!
It's now!
Help!
14 has him as hostage with a knife. Put down the knife and let him go. Put down the knife and let him go now. Go, sir! Get out of there now!
Go,
Move!
go!
Stay inside the house. Drop the knife! Get on the ground now! Stop now!
Get on the ground now!
Central shots fired.
Oh, got fire.
Get on your knees now! Now!
Put the knife down!
We're running away. Let's... Watch blue and blue, Blit.
In the garage! Monster, get out!
Central, we're at 6535. Broadview. Ball nap on me!
Got you.
We gotta get in.
I saw an arm go in the garage.
Yeah, he's in.
Police! Police department!
We're inside another house. Start SOT. We gotta get in, Jake. What road are we on?
English up, English up.
Central Arnie would show up. Please, open the door! Open the door! Get out!
What's going on?
Out! You got some intruder inside your house.
Oh my
Go, go. Go to that Jeep over there. Anybody else inside? Where's she at? 14 started K9.
Seriously! Rick, get on the fucking ground! Fuck! Stop!
Get on the ground now!
Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back!
Heuristics is a process of making quick decisions with limited information. You learn how to make these decisions by building a catalog of information through training and experience. I prefer to make a little bit of money on this channel by running ads instead of sending you guys to affiliate links to buy products that I know very little to nothing about. If you appreciate that, make sure you leave a comment down below, feed the algorithm down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. This catalog of information that you should be building allows you to make predetermined decisions when certain criteria is met. What criteria was met for this officer, what was the proper course of action, and when?
I got my roommate up here. He came up and slugged me in the head and started beating him. I don't know who he is.
Go out of the house. Go. Behind your car.
At 14:33, a resident called 911 and reports that there's a suspect in his house and he is being stabbed. From this moment right here, the officer wasted about 50 seconds when he had the relevant information he needed to make entry.
This is the police department. Come out of the house now.
The officer arrives on a 911 call where he says that the suspect entered his residence and he was being stabbed. The officer encounters one person at the door who says, yes, the suspect entered my residence, he assaulted me, and he's still inside with a potential victim. If at this point you don't feel like you have the information that you need, it's your job to immediately gather that information. You need to figure out what the problem is, where the problem is, and who the problem is. The most important out of all three of those, because the other two can be worked out, is what is the problem. Identifying what the problem is going to tell you which tactic you should be using.
I don't think he's got, he doesn't got
I'm on
nothing.
scene. I'm trying to call him out of the house. Sir, I'm going to ask you to go back by my car again,
I think
please.
he's high.
If I can go to if I can get a unit to go on the back side of the house.
In most cases, when you identify an officer with the incorrect posture on a scene like this, it's indicative of the outcome that you're about to see. In this case, the officer is standing directly in front of the threshold, he doesn't have his gun out, and he begins to ask the additional officer to arrive and start establishing a perimeter. If the suspect was in there by himself, of course, that would be an option, or the option, because you're not going to go in there after a suspect who is only a danger to himself at that point. But instead, how would you approach the situation, or how should you approach the situation? I talked in my last video about staying ahead of the curve. How do you stay ahead of the curve? Well, if you're responding to a situation at a residence where a person entered a home and is stabbing somebody, as you're approaching that residence, you should already have your gun out. You should always be thinking worst case scenario, and if you're thinking the worst case scenario, then you probably wouldn't be standing directly in front of the threshold. That door has a little metal clip on the bottom. You can move that clip to prop that door open and then use that threshold to your advantage. You should be thinking, well, the suspect might actually have a gun. He could start shooting at me, or the suspect could charge at me with a knife. And in those instances, you want to use the threshold to your advantage.
Yeah, but you can go inside. I have a housemate in there. He's beating on both of us. He slugged me in the jaw.
Police department!
This isn't legal advice, I just want you to think about this. If you're arriving on an active attack and there's an active attack in progress, do you really want to be announcing yourself at the threshold or continuously after you make entry? I don't want to alert the suspect to my presence until I absolutely have to, because that is where I have the tactical advantage. I want to remain covert until the very last opportunity. So where is that very last opportunity? Well, if I get into a position where I think the suspect is, and maybe I'm pieing a threshold, that is when I would identify myself when I'm pointing my gun at the suspect. I don't want to give the suspect an opportunity to either stab that person and run out the back, or get into a defensive position and wait for me to come around the corner, put me into a situation that I can't win, also sometimes called an ambush, or if he does have a gun, get into a position of domination and never allow me to actually do the job that I'm there to do. If you don't have a shot on a hostage taker because either you're not capable of taking that shot, you don't have the correct angle, or it's just not the right opportunity, you're certainly not going to have the opportunity to do that when he's cutting the dude's head off. And so in this case, because the person is holding a knife, what I suggest that you consider doing is closing the distance. Now that's different from somebody who has a gun, because if I'm the only person there that's there to rescue that person, and I close the distance on somebody who has a gun, and he shields himself behind the hostage and then starts shooting at me, and now I'm dead on the living room floor, well then I'm not really serving my purpose. What is the proper distance you should consider covering on somebody who's holding a knife to somebody's neck? Well, I guess that really kind of depends, but consider the fact that they're going to have to reach out with the knife and touch you with it, so somewhere probably beyond arm's reach.
Drop the knife!
There is some truth that your training and experience can dictate how much you allow a situation to degrade before taking action. But it's also true that you can allow a situation to degrade beyond in which you're capable of handling that situation. At this point, when the officer is outside and he's confronting the suspect who still has the knife, the officer is about 7 to 10 yards. So the officer could take a 7 to 10 yard shot or shots on the suspect because the suspect is not obeying commands. He already tried to kill somebody, and now he's going out towards the public. So you can absolutely articulate why you would be engaging this person in this moment. Instead, the officer allows the situation to deteriorate and starts engaging the suspect somewhere around 25 to 35 yards away. So what changed between 7 to 10 yards to 25 to 35 yards? And the answer is nothing. And actually, it just got much worse, because at the time in which the officer is engaging that suspect at that distance, there's actually a car traveling in the background. With all the rounds the officers did fire, they did hit the suspect about 2 to 3 times, and he survived. Knowing when to make a decision and what decision to make is going to depend on your training, your experience, understanding your legal authority, understanding the law, and understanding how you're going to articulate your actions. If I'm a suspect and you're dealing with me and I say F you and I lift up my shirt and I go to reach for a gun, at what point are you engaging me? Well, hopefully at the point in which you see me reaching for a gun. That is an overt act of serious bodily injury or death. You need to understand how you justify taking that action. I have seen way too many times where that very scenario, a suspect going for a gun or some other weapon, and an officer doesn't take the opportunity to do what he has to do in that moment. And because he didn't do that, that nearly led to the death of other officers or other innocent people. And that's exactly what happened here in this situation. The officer had the legal right and the legal authority to deal with that problem at a distance of 7 to 10 yards. And because he did not do that, he allowed the situation to degrade. He made it more difficult on himself and the other officer, and subsequently what happened is we endangered more of the public by shooting rounds out into the neighborhood and also allowing the suspect to enter other residents where he could have taken more people hostage.